Chapter 7, Lesson 3, Triangles. No prioritized state standards as of this video, but moving on, we're going to talk about triangles today, but mostly we're going to talk about classifying them in this lesson. And it's going to talk about this phrase congruent, and congruent means same. So when we talk about congruent sides, we're going to have sides that have the same length, whether they tell that to us like 5 centimeters or if they just use a dash. When we look at classifying triangles, there's two things. So on our notes, we have two slides. There's this one, and then we have the one next to it. So usually I have you down the side here. I have you put down or somewhere around this box, angles. Even though it's right up here, please write down that this one is all about the angles. So when we have to classify triangles, we need two names. Everybody say two. Did you say two? I hope you did, because we need two. One from this box, where we have these types of triangles, where we got acute triangle, where all angles are acute. So if you need to make that note to yourself again, make that note. That means less than 90 degrees. Please sketch one in. It just has to have small angles on all of them, and that's an acute triangle. That's what it looks like. All angles are less than 90 degrees. Right here, we've got that word obtuse. Obtuse, again, make that note to yourself, means more than 90. Sometimes referred to as a big angle, correct? So to draw an obtuse triangle, quickly just draw an obtuse angle, one that's more than 90 degrees, and connect them. Notice an acute triangle, all of them are acute. If not all three of them are acute, then it's one of these other ones. If one is obtuse, then the triangle is obtuse. Down here, if one angle is a right angle, that is exactly 90 degrees, then it is a right triangle. We're not concerned about the other ones. So again, make a right angle. Feel free to put the right angle mark in there if you'd like, and connect them. Then we got this big word here. So in class, I teach a little bit of a lesson fast, but if you look at it, we got a couple of words here. We got equa and we got angular. So we talk about equiangular. I say, what does that kind of sound like when we say equa, which is equal, and angular sounds like angles. So equal angles, or in this case, all three are congruent angles. They're going to show you that by putting little arc marks or little circles, half circles, if you will, in each little corner, meaning they're all the same length, or all the same degree measurement, rather. They're all congruent triangles. Notice again, all these dealt with angles. So when we classify triangles, we have to use one from this list, and then one from this list. So again, somewhere around this box, I invite you to put down the word sides, because this is all about the sides. When we classify, we need two names. Everybody say two. Did you say two? Hope you did. You need one from this slide about the sides, and you need one about the angles. So this one is, scalene is just an interesting word when you see that. It just means no congruent sides. So it can be look any shape, way, form you want, but you just need to make three angles or three sides that are not the same. Doesn't matter how it looks, all three sides will be different. In class, I talk about this word isosceles. I made a mistake for a long time growing up and teaching. I said isosceles has two S's and two E's, which is why it's got at least two sides congruent. It took a few years, and then a student said, Mr. Walls, aren't there three S's? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Oops. Told you I make mistakes. But anyways, it was a connection for me. Two S's, two E's, well, more than two S's. But isosceles is how you say that. Two sides are congruent. So draw two lines. Do your best to make them pretty close to the same size. And then put a little line, a dash through them. It's supposed to be a straight line, but my pen made them a little curved. That means those two sides are the same. So if I told you this side on the right was 5 centimeters, the side on the left would be 5 centimeters. If I told you this was 10 inches on this side, that means this side is also 10 inches. They use those little marks to show you that it is congruent for the sides. Once again, we got this word here, equilateral, where in class I talk about it a little bit more and demonstrate lateral passes, sideways, or lateral shuffles. But again, equilateral sounds like what thing? Equa sounds like it's saying equal. And lateral means side to side or sideways. So equal sides, or in this case, we're going to use our word congruent, where all three sides are exactly the same. So do the best that you can to draw a triangle with all three sides the same. Then here we are in geometry, so even if they're not all the same, it doesn't matter. As soon as you put that dash mark on it, like we did here, it doesn't matter how good or how bad you drew it, all those sides are congruent. They're all the same because these marks say so. Not because it looks like it, but because it said so. So again, when instructions say to classify, please put down here that we need two names. When it says to classify, all you're going to do is look at the triangle and you need two names. Everybody say two. You need two. Everybody say two. Two names. So one of them has to be by the sides. So we're going to name one by the sides. And then one has to be by the angles. So here we go. You can start with whichever one you want. I'm going to start with the sides because that's how I did this note. When you look at it over here, when you take a look, do you see any marks on any of the sides of this triangle? So when we're looking at this guy, none of the side lengths have marks on it. So that means they're all different. Also, are any of the angles the same? No angles the same, no sides the same. So if you need to, you're probably going to need to come back and look here and see that we have this word no sides the same is scalene. If you need to know how to spell it, please by all means go back and look at it. You're going to want to have your notes open. And then we need to go by the angles. Are they all, or rather, you can go any way you want. Sometimes I start this way. Is there an obtuse angle? Is there an angle bigger than 90 degrees? Nope. Is there a right angle, a little 90 degrees or a right angle mark? Yep. So that makes it a right triangle. Don't worry about the other two angles. Since there is a singular right angle, this is a right triangle, or in this case, using both names, our two names, a right scalene. Down on B, again, you can start with angles, you can start with sides, it does not matter. I started with sides on the first one, so I'll do the same thing. Notice here, I see two little dash marks. That means two sides are the same. So I need to get that word isosceles. Two S's, two E's, and a bonus S at the end because it's got two sides the same. Now when we talk about angles then, again, I'm going to start somewhere. In class, I usually start, is there an obtuse angle? Is there one bigger than 90 degrees or more than 90 degrees? There is. So then we go with obtuse. This is an obtuse isosceles triangle, or you could say it the other way, an isosceles obtuse triangle. Again, these marks down here, notice these guys, they say these angles are the same, but since all three of them are not the same, it's not equiangular, we just go by that. That is classifying. That was one of the big things to do there. We also talk about drawing triangles as well, then classify. So if that is something we do, please do that as well. In this case here, looking at this guy, we're just going to quickly draw a triangle and just do the notes fast. So while you're watching this, if you've got a protractor, great, join on in. Just listen to whatever instructions I tell you for the year. Since it says to draw a triangle, we need to start with a straight line. You may use a ruler or the bottom of the, in this case, the bottom of the protractor works just fine. And then pick a side, left or right. In class, I'd have someone tell me, but we're going to go over here to the right. And then I'm going to start with a 35-degree angle. So I need to go up 10, 20, 30, and I'm going to make a mark right here at 35. Notice again, since I went to the left, I'm going to start here where the numbers on the outside start at 0. So now that's where you and I need to get a straight edge. So you and I can, excuse me, trying to get this to rotate. I have to do it this way. All right. You and I can remove our protractor and use a ruler, or in my case, I'm going to go like this, and then just connect it best you can with a straight line. Again, smartboard, sorry, did my best there, I couldn't. And then that's our 35-degree angle. So I'm going to slide this guy out of the way. And I'm going to make that mark because you know me, I can forget sometimes 35 degrees. So then somewhere over here, Since I wasn't able to make a super long line, I'm going to go right about here. And then it says to make a 45-degree angle. Oops, excuse me. So then I need, my technology is not working quite right with me, so let's look here. Where's my pen? We'll do it this way then. Here we go. We need a 45-degree angle, which is right there. Again, since I went to the right, now I start on the inside where that is. So then I need to rotate this guy, or just grab a straight edge and remove the ruler and use the ruler after the protractor is gone. And now we're just going to draw a line here and following your straight edge, moving it right out of the way. And this is where I'm going to label 45 degrees. That means this guy's 100, so this would be the spot where if this bothers you, you can then grab your eraser and then erase all these extra lines here if you wanted to, so everything looks nice and clean and like a triangle. You don't have to do that, but it is an option as we look at that. Ooh, a little bit too much there. So as you're doing that, you don't have to, because you've made a triangle. Ooh, do note it does say to classify, so we need two names. Everybody say two. One by the sides. Any of the sides the same? Nope. Scalene. And then one by the angles. Is there an obtuse angle, whether we see it or are told something's more than 90 degrees? Yes, it is. So you've got a scalene obtuse triangle, and that is classifying it. Same thing as we go on to the next slide here. Now it says draw a triangle with a 3 centimeter side and a 5 centimeter side, which meets at a 75-degree angle. So then let's do just that. Since it says to have two different side lengths, pick one of them. Since 5 is a little bit longer, I'm going to start with 5. So I'm going to take this guy. This is where we would need a ruler. We need the centimeters, which is the smaller ones. And we need to make a 5-centimeter line. Wow, that was a nice straight line. Thank you, ruler. So notice that's 5 centimeters, so that's something that I would probably write down here, so that way I remember that I've done that. And now it says draw a triangle with a 3 centimeter side. Nope, didn't do that. 5 centimeter, check, and meets at a 75-degree angle. So pick left or right. In class, I'd have someone choose, but here we go. I'm going to go here. I'm going to set the protractor on the left side. And since I did that, I need to go over here. My line's going to the right. So I need to then, on the right side, use the inside, use the numbers that start at 0 to find 75. That's up here. So that's where you and I could have a couple options. We could turn our protractor and then draw a line that is 3, or then draw a whole line and measure it. Or if we have enough time, we can get this guy here, line it up again, and then move the ruler so it's lined up like this nicely. And then now, because it says a 3 centimeter side, draw a 3 centimeter side. I'm going to label that. So we've got a 3 centimeter side, 5 centimeter side, meets at a 75-degree angle. And then from there, finish it off, make it a triangle. So bring it on up. Whether you want to use your protractor or you just want to use a ruler, doesn't matter, but connect these two edges here. And now you have drawn the triangle with the given dimensions. 3 centimeter and a 5 centimeter side that meet at a 75-degree angle. If it said to classify, please do so. Otherwise, that is drawing triangles. Also one of our standards, not a priority standard right now, but one of our standards in 7th grade. And I have this song, Triangle Sing Song, which I'll attach as a separate thing for you to watch. So again, today we're going to talk about classifying triangles with two names by their sides and their angles. Sometimes we will construct triangles, whether they just have angle measurements or with side lengths as well.